Hi. This is a tutorial on how I turn my digital photos into film photos, or how I make them look like film. I'm not a very camera confident kind of person. I'm very awkward. I will be using entirely Lightroom on my desktop, and this can actually also work on mobile. You just have to find the right tools. Let's get on with it. Here we have our digital photo that I believe was taken with a Canon Rebel T5. And we have a second photo right here, which was taken on film. But we're gonna be using this as a reference. Now, the first thing that I want you guys to notice is the amount of fade in this photo. It's very obvious, but it's not much. The reason why there's not a lot of fade in it is because I believe this is properly exposed. I think it's properly exposed. The more underexposed your photos are, the more crazy the fade is going to look, if you're into that kind of thing. Right, we're gonna put a fade into our digital photo. In order to do that is you're just gonna have to come on over to tone curve, and you're just gonna put a dot, a point on the first intersection. We're going to push this first point upwards so that it creates a fade. So the higher you push it, it's going to create some crazy fade. I think that's good. And I'm just gonna put a third point on the middle just to restore our midtones, because it did go down once I put the shadows up. There, alright, I think that's good. Now, the second thing that I want you guys to notice is the shadows and highlights. I'm gonna first start with the shadows, and if you see right here, the shadows are a bit bluish to greenish kind of vibe, and we're going to mimic that using the split toning tool. You can actually also do this on tone curve, but I find split toning much more easier. Now I'm going to start with shadows, and I'm going to put the saturation value to a 50. Now I know it looks crazy, but we're going to fix that later after we find the color that we want for our shadows. And I'm just going to slide the hue to kind of a teal color. So now I'm just gonna put the saturation value down to about 15. I think that's great. And then just doing the same thing with highlights. Now I'm just gonna go to the brightest part of the photo, and the highlights for me kind of looks warmish, and we're gonna do exactly that. So put the saturation to 50 and look for a warm tone. You can choose different colors, you know, it depends on your style, depends on how you like the photo. Anyways, the third thing that you have to do, and basically the final one, is the grain. Now going back to our reference photo, if you look at the grain, they're kind of very small in size and really textured. And I found a way to actually mimic that. So first I put the amount to about 20. We're gonna start off with 20. And then the size to about 10, 12, 15. And then we're gonna put the roughness at max. Now, as you can see, it looks really small and incredibly textured, but it's not really kind of showing off a lot. So I'm gonna put the amount to 40. Yeah, I think 40 is fine. 40 looks great. And actually that's pretty much about it, but you can play with your photo using the basic tab. And what I usually like to do is use dehaze. It's a really cool tool to kind of make your photos glow. So if I put it on -100, it kind of looks incredibly old. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, but it's not my style. But if you dig that, you can do it. So I'm just gonna put this about a -30. Yeah, I think that's great. And you know, you can just play around with it, you know, however you want your photo to look like. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Right, so here is the before and after. For me, this looks pretty filmish already. It's pretty good for me. I mean, this is how I kind of know it. Anyways, I hope you guys learned something in this video. And if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below what you think. Yeah.